Hey, Cowboys Nation! Today we are diving into one of the most intriguing coaching discussions currently circulating in the NFL, and it's all centered around the Dallas Cowboys and the possibility of a major shakeup on the defensive side of the ball. The conversation has really picked up in recent weeks largely because of Brian Flores, who has quietly become one of the most talked about defensive coordinators in the league. Unlike most top assistants whose contracts bind them firmly to their current teams, Flores finds himself in a unique position. With his contract expiring, he technically has control over his own future, making him one of the few coordinators who could realistically be lured away by a team like the Cowboys. This creates an opportunity that simply does not exist for most elite defensive minds in the NFL. And naturally, it has sparked a wave of speculation about whether Dallas could be the team to make a big move. Now, let's be honest, the Cowboys' defense has had its struggles, especially over the last season, and that has only fueled the chatter. Matt Eberflus, the current defensive coordinator, has faced significant criticism following what many consider a disappointing reunion year, and that has opened the door to serious conversations about who could step in and elevate this unit. Jerry Jones has always been vocal about his willingness to invest in winning, but he also has a history of carefully considering his spending, particularly when it comes to coaching. The question that everyone is asking now is simple. Would the Cowboys be willing to put significant resources on the table to secure someone like Flores, who is widely regarded as one of the NFL's elite defensive minds? When we break down Flores' career, it's clear why his name keeps coming up. He started his journey in New England, listed initially as a linebackers coach, but even then, he was entrusted with substantial responsibilities. After Matt Patricia's departure, Flores stepped up as a play caller, showing an ability to adapt and excel even when not officially holding the coordinator title. His success continued in Miami, where he led a Dolphins defense that could perform at a high level despite significant challenges elsewhere on the roster. There were undoubtedly obstacles, including issues with the offense and quarterback play, but Flores consistently found ways to maximize what he had. That kind of adaptability and football intelligence is exactly what the Cowboys need right now, and it's what makes him such an enticing candidate. The Vikings have benefited from his expertise this season as well. Even with a somewhat inconsistent supporting cast on offense, the defense has been productive, demonstrating his ability to mold a unit effectively no matter the situation. The allure of Flores is not just his resume, though. It's his reputation as a strategic and innovative play caller. He has shown repeatedly that he could design a defense capable of creating turnovers, limiting big plays, and adapting dynamically to in-game situations. If you think about where the Cowboys could be with a top 5 defense under his leadership, it's not hard to imagine them contending at the highest levels. A Dallas defense orchestrated by Flores could theoretically rival some of the best units in the league, providing the balance and stability that has sometimes been missing in recent seasons. For fans who have watched the team struggle in key defensive moments, the thought of a strategic mind like Flores taking over is thrilling. It's the kind of move that could shift the entire trajectory of the team. Of course, there are layers to this situation. Flores' potential availability is partly why the speculation has been so intense. With his Vikings contract expiring, there's technically no one blocking his departure, but the reality of hiring him is not as simple as just extending an offer. There are considerations regarding matching salaries, potential bidding wars, and a natural caution that Dallas typically exhibits in situations like this. Historically, the Cowboys have not been known as a team that engages in aggressive bidding wars for coaching talent. And that raises questions about how far they would go to secure someone of Flores' caliber. Yet, if Jones truly wanted to signal his commitment to winning, making a major play for a coach like Flores would send a clear message not only to fans, but to the entire league. It would demonstrate a willingness to be bold, something that has occasionally been inconsistent in recent years, but could be strategically transformative, in this instance. When we examine the broader NFL landscape, Flores is frequently mentioned among the top tier of defensive minds. While Vic Fangio often gets attention for leading a top-ranked defense, Flores sits comfortably in the conversation as a top 2 or top 3 coordinator. His understanding of defensive schemes, player strengths, and in-game adjustments is elite, and it's backed by years of proven success. From New England to Miami to Minnesota, he has consistently found ways to build defenses that perform beyond expectations. His record shows that he can elevate units regardless of the surrounding talent, which is exactly what the Cowboys need if they intend to compete seriously in the NFC East and beyond. Now, it's also important to recognize the complications. Even with Flores' contract situation, the Vikings could theoretically match any offer that comes from Dallas. And if Flores were not inclined to leave, the opportunity might never materialize. That introduces a level of uncertainty that adds tension to the narrative. Furthermore, there are always broader considerations about career trajectory, potential future head coaching opportunities, and a specific dynamics between the coach and the team. Hiring a coordinator is not simply a matter of skill. It's about fit, culture, and long-term vision, all of which would need to align perfectly for this move to make sense for both parties. Still, the possibility alone generates excitement and speculation among fans, and it is worth exploring in depth because it represents one of the few truly attainable opportunities for Dallas to dramatically improve its defensive outlook in the short term. Fans have been weighing in as well, and the conversation has become something of a litmus test for the fan base. If the Cowboys do decide to pursue Flores, the implications are massive, not only for the team's defensive performance, but also for the overall direction of the franchise. There's a sense of urgency that comes with potentially landing a coordinator of his caliber, and it forces the front office to consider how far they are willing to go to secure top-level coaching talent. The dynamic between opportunity, cost, and potential reward creates a fascinating situation that is capturing attention across the league. In many ways, it's a storyline that feels larger than life. Given the stakes involved and the potential ripple effect for the team's success over the next several seasons. Continuing with the story, the intrigue surrounding Brian Flores and the Cowboys doesn't stop with just his resume and availability. It's about the transformation he could bring to a defense that has been inconsistent to say the least. Picture this: a Dallas defense operating under Flores' guidance, executing schemes that are sophisticated, adaptable, and unpredictable. We're talking about a unit capable of pressuring the quarterback, shutting down a run game, and creating turnovers at critical moments. For a team that has struggled with defensive identity in recent seasons, this could represent a complete overhaul in philosophy and execution. The Cowboys have the talent, but what they've lacked is a coordinator who can maximize that talent consistently. Flores has demonstrated an uncanny ability to do exactly that, often taking rosters that aren't considered elite and turning them into disciplined, aggressive, and strategically sound offenses. That's why the chatter isn't just noise. It's grounded in reality and supported by a track record that cannot be ignored. 1. Of the most compelling aspects of Flores' potential hire is his versatility in working with different types of personnel. He has shown the ability to adjust his schemes based on the strengths and weaknesses of his roster. Something that is critical in today's NFL where every matchup requires adaptability. Whether it's a veteran-heavy defensive line, a secondary in transition, or linebackers with varying skill sets, Flores has consistently tailored his game plan to extract maximum performance. For Dallas, this could mean a defense that not only performs better statistically, but also controls the tempo of games, allowing the offense more opportunities to thrive. A top-tier defense under Flores could change the way opponents approach games against the Cowboys, forcing adjustments and mistakes that previously weren't exploited. The ripple effect of one exceptional coordinator can be immense, impacting everything from a game play calling to long-term roster decisions, and Flores fits that mold perfectly. Of course, there's the business side to consider. Dallas is not traditionally a team that engages in bidding wars, and securing Flores would likely require a serious commitment. His value as a coordinator is undeniable, and if multiple teams show interest, the Cowboys would need to weigh how far they are willing to go financially. The idea of putting a record-setting salary on the table may seem uncharacteristic for Dallas, but this is one of those rare opportunities where the payoff could justify the investment. The league is competitive, and acquiring someone of Flores' caliber could immediately elevate the Cowboys' defensive standing, perhaps even tipping the scales in favor of contending for a Super Bowl. It's a calculated risk, but one that could yield outsized rewards if executed correctly. For Jerry Jones and the front office, it's a decision that would send a strong message that winning is not just about the roster, but also about assembling the right minds to guide and develop that roster. Flores represents an opportunity to do both in one move. Another layer to consider is the historical context of coordinators leaving strong positions for new opportunities. While not common, there is precedent in the NFL for highly respected coordinators to take lateral or slightly different roles if the situation aligns with their career goals or personal ambitions. The comparison to Marvin Lewis comes to mind, illustrating that even elite coordinators sometimes make bold moves for the right fit. Flores' situation is unique in that he has control over his future, and if he decides he is open to change, the Cowboys could be positioned to act quickly. This possibility adds a sense of urgency to the off-season discussions and emphasizes the strategic importance of being prepared to make decisive moves when such rare opportunities arise. The notion that a coordinator of his caliber could be within reach is thrilling for fans, front office personnel, and even the league at large because it speaks to the fluid and dynamic nature of team building in today's NFL. The potential impact of hiring Flores also extends beyond the immediate defensive improvements. There's an organizational culture element at play here as well. Bringing in a coach with Flores' track record and reputation for discipline, strategic thinking, and adaptability could influence the team as a whole. Younger players could benefit from his guidance, learning how to anticipate plays, read offenses, and execute at a higher level. Veterans could see improvements in cohesion and communication, while the overall mindset of the defense could shift toward a more resilient, confident approach. The influence of a single coordinator can cascade throughout a team, shaping everything from practice habits to in-game decision-making. For the Cowboys, that kind of cultural shift could be just as valuable as the statistical improvements on the field, particularly in a division where every advantage counts. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. The sports world was caught completely off guard when whispers began circulating that the Dallas Cowboys may have quietly pulled off one of the most shocking moves of the season. According to information attributed to ESPN sources, two major stars are believed to have just signed with the franchise, sending shock waves through the league and instantly reigniting debates about the Cowboys' true ambitions. While official announcements remain carefully guarded, the buzz around the organization has grown impossible to ignore. What makes this situation even more intriguing is the secrecy surrounding the alleged signings. Insiders suggest that negotiations were conducted far from the public eye, with the front office determined to avoid leaks until everything was finalized. This strategy has only fueled speculation as fans and analysts scramble to connect the dots and identify which names could be involved. The idea that two high-profile players would choose Dallas simultaneously has sparked endless discussion about locker room impact, leadership dynamics, and long-term vision. Around the league, rival teams are reportedly paying close attention. The Cowboys have long been one of the most polarizing franchises in professional sports, and any suggestion of blockbuster additions immediately shifts the narrative. If the rumors prove accurate, the signings could represent a clear statement of intent. Dallas is no longer content with potential, but focused on immediate dominance. Some executives believe these moves could alter competitive balance, forcing opponents to rethink strategies before even stepping onto the field. Fans, meanwhile, are divided between cautious optimism and outright euphoria. Social media has exploded with theories, jersey mock-ups, and speculative lineups, each more ambitious than the last. Even former players have weighed in, hinting to the Cowboys front office may finally be matching bold words with bold action. Until contracts are formally unveiled, uncertainty remains. But one thing is clear. The Cowboys have once again become the center of the football universe, and the league is watching closely to see if this stunning rumor becomes reality. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next